Alrighty guys, welcome. Apologies about the delayed start, guys. Apologies. Good morning, good afternoon, and as always, very good evening. Just got lost track of time, to be honest. I was busy doing things and I didn't realize it was stream time, so no excuses. So nonetheless, we are here. Looking forward to seeing what we got today on the charts. Been a quiet week so far. Well, all the trades came yesterday for me. 3 trades to be exact yesterday. One obviously during the agent session, which was a win. One on stream, which was a break even, and another one with the members during pre-wire, which was also a break even. Almost got the chocolates on GJ, but not quite took us out. But once again, the management was fantastic, because had I held it, or had we held it, would have taken a loss. So managing it as I normally did, saved, spared taking a full loss on it. So really good trade management yesterday, and the day ended up in a nice profit after that first win. So anyway guys, without further ado, let's start. As always, if you could smash the like button. If anyone has any questions, please feel free to send those in. Also, any charts you want me to take a look at, I'm the only stream that encourages it and allows it. Every other stream will say send in a chart if you want to know anything about that particular pair. Whereas I'm the opposite. I just send me whatever request you have, and I'll eventually get around to it. Anyway, without further ado guys, there's 14 of you on the stream. At least some of you say good day. Just 2 of you. All right, weekly we are strong bearish on GJ, obviously looking good for a continuation of the downside, but otherwise what we can see is we are at some strong support here to the left. So potential zone that price could bounce off, but at the moment there is absolutely no catalyst to suggest we're going to do so. But we need to be wary of the fact where we are. So based off the weekly itself, the candle itself, lower high, lower low, it's forming a really strong bearish candle. So what that likely suggests to me, you're looking for some pullbacks within the candle to look for potential sells, or sells upon a break of low, upon continuation onto the daily time frame. Look at this massive pullback. We had this big move to the upside, and it's now been pretty all retraced basically back to the downside. Counter probabilities also to the downside on GJ, looking once again looking good for continuation to the downside. Structure, we do remain bullish so long as we remain above this level that we're currently at. So we are below 200 flat too guys. Pretty strong, or psychological number, pretty strong level. So we'll see what we've got anyway below. I want to see what we've got above the current daily candles high. If a high, low, higher, lower, low, lower, high to the previous. We want to continue bearish. There really is no need for us to pull back up and break our own high. If we do so, then perhaps we'll grab liquidity from the support on the weekly and daily, and we could be potentially ready to bounce off onto the 4-hour structure. That is also technically bearish. The current daily is basically where the high of the current daily is the last bit of resistance we have formed on the way down. We're looking to the left, we can see we're currently at a pretty significant level of support though. Just going to mark it in, we'll adjust it accordingly once we go down to the 30-minute. As far as a level of the most recent level of support we've broken on the way down, and I'm going to include those bearish wicks because it's likely going to be a support on the 30-minute. So that 200 flat level to me is key. It is a very important level. If price did pull back to it, and respect it, reject it, right, that lower high, then I feel at that point there's a high probability what we will do is come back down, retest the low, and then with the volume momentum potentially pull back down to create a lower low and continue in line with the overall bias and structure, which is the downside right now. We can see the 30-minute, that is also bearish, bouncing off this support. Let's see if we can just tighten these zones a little bit. To be honest, it's one big zone, but what I'm going to do, just adjust it to that point there. Now, forming a resistance at the support. To be honest, guys, with GJ today, it's in such a strong downward or pullback downtrend at the moment that I'd be very cautious taking any buys. If I was to look for any buys, what I really need to see is some proper structure form at these lows. So pull back, retest this support again, begin to bounce off it, or close above the resistance that's currently forming, tap in, continuation as it begins to break above. Possibly I consider the buy. Otherwise, guys, seeing we have that counter probabilities on a higher time frame to the downside, what I'm likely going to be looking for is price to pull back to around that 200 flat and look for rejection of that level. Look for my catalyst in price action, take it back down in line with the strength and direction of the weekly, and to potentially retest the low of that candle. Now, further sell options below. Do we have some clean traffic? Clean enough, yeah. So sells below that 4-hour support, which is just a little bit below the current weekly candles low. So upon continuation below the current weekly / daily low, I would consider options to sell it as well. We do have some relatively clean traffic to the left, but what I likely want to see is a nice strong closure, right, if not below it, right near the low, if I have to trust any impulse entry. Otherwise, I'm just going to be waiting for the closure below that 198, 920. So for me today, I'm more likely going to be trading on in line with the bias and the structure, and look for my potential sell options on GJ. We don't even have a 4-hour candle yet closing back bullish. What I usually prefer to see if I'm looking for any counter trend trades is a higher time frame candle closing back in my direction at a higher time frame level of support, which we're kind of at in a 4-hour, but we don't have yet that support confirmed. So likely I'm going to be waiting for the sell options, guys, on GJ. It's in a massive downtrend at the moment, so hopefully that makes sense. And in the meantime, guys, what we will do is go straight on, have a look at gold. This is chart I've just sent in to the members not long ago. Just going to remove it. We're going to start fresh. 4-hour breaking the high of the previous just now. All right, so looking at the weekly time frame, current candle, it's broken a lot of the previous, is now pulling back up to create a high in its own candle. So for me, if it was to continue bearish, it really doesn't need to keep pulling back. What have we got in the daily time frame? Candle probabilities to the upside, higher high, higher low, bouncing off a resistance here to the left. Above that 2400 flat again. So this starts to suggest to me that we're likely going to continue to the upside. Let's mark in that previous daily candle was high, and let's see if we have pulled back to retest it yet or not. So that lines up with this resistance to the left. Yep, perfect. So what we've got is now the 4-hour structure. Look, kind of calling it bullish. This to me looks like it resembles a swing. So we've broken above and closed above that resistance. So I'm going to call it bullish. It's, if you'd be really technical about it, you say it doesn't flip back bullish until the highs, closure above the highs. But I'm considering this a swing, so I'm going to call it bullish. We've bounced off the support here to the left. We've got counter probabilities to the upside. We've got some clean traffic by the looks of it to the upside. I'm just going to mark in the most recent resistance we have broken out of, and we'll go down to the M30. As far as targets, just looking to the left, most recent data, but we'll go down to the 30 and we'll see what we've got. All right, so on to the M30. Got some resistance at this point here. I'm going to change it to blue. What sort of margin do we have above? About 20, 25, 26 pips, just depends. All right, so we're just consolidating. What I'd really like to see is, what I really would have loved to see is the new 4-hour pullback to retest this zone that we've broken out of. Don't necessarily need to do so, because we'll notice just here what we've done on the closure above during the Asian session. The next candle actually pulled back to tap back in. So we've already retested that zone. However, what I would like to see still is, obviously I'd be looking for the option to buy it back at that zone if we make another pullback to it. I'm going to see a buy step in. So above that 2,412, look for support to form, wait for my catalyst to form, and I could look for a potential buy from back above that previous resistance. So buys above. Now, are we going to have the margin? Potential buys above 2,418 roughly. So long as it doesn't make the move. Obviously we're rejecting just now, so I don't take impulse entries unless they absolutely tick the rules in accordance to the way I trade, in accordance to my rules for a breakout entry, which this one definitely wouldn't. So there'd be no way I would have considered it either way. So buys above on a closure, I'd be considering it. It's in line with the structure, it's in line with counter probabilities on the daily, the 4 hour as well. So that would be an option. Now as for sells, I mean, structure will flip back below 2,405 roughly, but the issue with that is you're running straight back into some pretty heavy traffic to the left. So as far as the sellers, I have to consider any cheeky sell. What I'd rather see is price pop up to 2,421, reject, give my signals in price action to potentially sell it from higher up. Otherwise, I'm probably just going to be on the side of the buys as well, guys. Just wait patiently for the buys to set up, and that will be the plan on gold moving forward today. So hopefully that all makes sense. If it does, please drop a like. And the focus right now is likely to be on gold. Looks more probable just for the time being. Got 22 minutes though to remaining in this candle, and then we'll see where we're at the closure of it. In the meantime, guys, let me say g'day Franco, good morning to you. Doc, good morning. Ian, Leas, James, Brad, afternoon to you. Caspiro, afternoon to you. Will to Wise, afternoon to you. Archer, good morning to you, brother. Appreciate it. And yeah, cheers guys. Trizza, your trading view numbers are so small, I zoom and I can't even see. What these numbers? I don't know, how big do you want me to make them, mate? I don't even know how to change them. Mr. Phil, good day to you. Is it this? Yeah, it is that. Yeah, that to me is, yeah, it's too big. Alright, how about we go with that? I think that's fair. How's that? Is that better? Better? Alright. We'll stick with that then. Chef Wilson, good afternoon to you too. Hope you're well. Who's in trades right now? Anyone? Got any open positions currently? Zoom. Oh, members, I'll send a Zoom link just now. So a little bit of a scramble to make it to stream today. I didn't realize the time. All right, members, I have sent a link in. Because we're looking for gold buys from 2011, 2012. Yeah, I like that idea as well. Okay, nothing right now. Yep, that's fair enough. Well, it's why some gold buys from 2005. Nice one. Safely in profit, so good work. Despero, but the thing is, 4 hour already wicked down, so I don't know. Yeah, it's already wicked down. Plus, like I mentioned before, the initial closure above on the following counter, we've wicked down and tested that resistance. So now we don't necessarily need to pull back again and retest it. We've already done so. Happens to be on the counter after our closure above. But I mean, there's still always a chance that we could do so, and that is what I'd like to see as well. But I also think there's going to be options if we close above 24.1790 roughly. Luxonization, good day to you. Nothing too choppy. Yep. Ian, just waiting. All good, mate. Cheers, guys. Appreciate it.
He did fire during the Asian session, wasn't it?
G'day, mate. How are you? GJ?
Yeah.
Yeah, completely shitting in bed again.
All night.
It's not stopped, has it?
No.
I was looking at before where would I've got an entry. I reckon, depending how this count will open, maybe it created a bit below wick and then popped up, break its own low again. Maybe, I'm not sure. I was on the charts at all for Asian session today. But yeah, it's been
good morning.
Massive downtrend. Franco, good day to you. How are you, mate?
I'm okay. So I'm a little bit still the issues with the
computer, internet. As long as you're here, mate.
Yeah. I found some ways to have a connection, but still waiting for someone to come here.
Oh, okay. Fair enough, my friend. The GU, I just sent a chart into the members. So I'm all about the sells on GU as well. You got the buy system downside, you got counter probabilities to the downside in a higher time frame, the weekly, daily. So to me, I'd be definitely all about the sell option. Right now, it's potentially giving you a bearish engulfing counter in the next 16.5 minutes, but you need to wait. And if that is the case, could almost get a 1-to-1 or a sell on GU.
This I'm looking also. One issue what I have in difference to you is below the support which you have marked in blue here.
Yeah.
I found on the left side. I found another support area which is a little bit down. Yeah, which you marked the white. Yeah, correct.
Yeah. But I still, there still should be. I mean, you still could get a 1-to-1 with GU. Obviously, it's not actually. I mean, it's not 10 pips, but you can get a 5 pip stop loss, and then like you know, mate. In my opinion, there's nothing wrong with using that as a target as well. If it's a 1-to-1.
Absolutely not. Yeah.
So still could play out. What you might get as well is that minus support. So this 15 minutes about to close strong bearish. We really want it to close right near its low. And obviously wait for a little pause on the next M15, and that will be I'd take that as an early entry.
I'm looking also for a buy, Justin. Maybe this could be also interest.
Yeah.
It's on the M30 time frame.
Okay.
So because we have on the left side where you mark the structure and weekly the text, there's a support. No, not on this one. On the right side, in the middle.
Yeah.
No, on the left side a little bit. Correct, this one. So, and if you mark there an area and then go to the left side, there's a lot of wicks which are already.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and on the
over here
left
too.
side.
Yeah.
So yeah, correct. And this maybe could be for me some area if we pass through this area. Maybe I'm looking for buys.
Okay. So buys above that point there, roughly.
Yeah.
Yep, that makes sense. It's also above the 129 flat. The psychological round number, so
yeah,
not a bad idea. Yeah. And you might be starting to flip some micro structure as well at that point. High lows, high highs, so yeah.
And then looking for sells, maybe a little bit higher as you indicated here.
Yep.
Above. So I would
yep.
The resistance there a little bit higher. Yeah.
Nice one.
Yeah, correct. In this area.
Right there. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's looking good, mate. Just have to wait patiently.
Yeah, correct.
Do what we do best. Sit and wait. Gold's breaking out. Alright. Oh, limit order. Is it trending though? Yeah.
This would be a nice close, wouldn't it, on gold?
It's a nice close, but I'd rather getting in above the high. What sort of margin is there? There's not really a margin. I'd rather get in on the limit order, to be honest. That would be literally back at the high of that candle. What is it in the 15? I'm not in nothing yet, guys, because I'm just looking at it on my broker chart. No, I'm gonna wait. Guys. Wait for the 30 minutes, see if it does close above. Because if this 15 now closes a weak bearish candle, we could also use that as a stop loss. And as it breaks, you got clean traffic up to the resistance. So I think that's a higher probability entry. It's not really trending at the moment to look for the limit order. When I'm looking at the 30, it's not really trending. It's more just a bit of consolidation. So the limit order, I mean, even here wouldn't have been valid in my opinion. It really requires some structure to be forming, like a series of high lows, high highs on approach. Like so, without much consolidation. And then you take limit order at the resistance, and it's just freshly going to tap in, pull away from it. So it's not really doing that at the moment. So I'm just simply going to wait for the 30 minutes to close now. See where we're at.
Yeah, I don't want GJ to go again on this candle.
No, there's a good chance it will. I mean, GJ is up to its own thing of late, so there's no respect for anyone. Kitten, good morning to you. Dot and gold buys from yesterday, 23.97, partial taken, right, nice one. You're flying in profit, so good work. Thoughts on EU? Very similar to GU. So it's obviously bearish. You got a very strong weekly bearish candle. You got daily candle probabilities to the downside. So marking the high off the current daily, see what there is above it. If there's some resistance that should respect, like or was likely to continue back down. 4 hours also bearish. It's bounced off a resistance here to the left, created support. So be marking that level in. Go down to the 30-minute. Just adjust this a little bit. All right, 30. That is your 30-minute resistance. So I'll be looking for the sells. And I want to sell it from within this resistance, or as it pops back below it. And once I have the right confirmation, if you callous. Now what I would say is above it, it's going to flip bullish on the 30-minute. So that would be your callous to buy it. You'll also be breaking the current daily callous high. You don't really need to do so if you want to continue bearish. So therefore that adds confidence that maybe we just grab liquidity from the downside, flipping a 30-minute structure. And relatively clean traffic to the left, so that's where I'd be looking for the buys. And otherwise I'd be looking for the sells. Buys above, sells below. And also sells below current daily candles low as well. Now it's making a bit of a move just now, so otherwise, I mean, bearish engulfing is a good catalyst, obviously. Hasn't quite tapped into the highest point of the resistance though, but it has tapped into another level that we previously created on the move to the downside. So far rejecting bearish engulfing, that could be an early catalyst to potentially sell it. So at this stage I'm waiting on gold to close above, and if GJ closes right in a low, I might consider an impulse entry. Dot, you're also selling Bitcoin. Okay. You know what? I might start TikTok stream. We'll do some analysis on Bitcoin quickly. Got plenty of time before the closure of the candle. All right, so let's look at it. Let's look at Bitcoin, guys. So just going live on TikTok as well. So Bitcoin still based off the previous weekly at this point, and that was a very strong bullish candle. So once again, we could just be pulling back to grab some more liquidity from that candle before we form a support and begin to head back up in line with what is the structure on the daily, which is the upside, and pretty sure it was the upside in the 4 hour. May have flipped on a 30-minute, not too sure, but definitely bullish in a daily. Bit of a pullback though, but we are starting to create some high lows, higher highs within the structure itself. So for me, still bullish, but candle probabilities, well, if we haven't broke below the previous candle, so as long as we remain above it, then potentially we could bounce off. Once again, there's resistance here to the left as well, so we could create a higher low potentially if we were to continue bullish. Now the 4 hour has formed support back above previous resistance. So if we begin to break above the previous 4 hour candles high, we'll have to see what we've got to the left hand side of that for any potential buy options. As far as resistance, got this level here. So 4 hour is actually bearish in structure, has flipped. So therefore the bias looks like it's likely to be to downside. 30-minute is also bearish. I would say it remains bearish. But see, this is good. I really like what I'm seeing on Bitcoin, guys. Just drag these zones up a bit. So what I am seeing, 30-minute is bearish. So the bias is actually bearish, but we could be flipping back to bullish if we begin to break above the current daily candles high. The resistance formed at that level. We're going to flip the 30-minute structure back bullish. That will give us a neutral bias. We'll be respecting the low of that previous daily candle. We do respect the low, begin to pop above, close above 66,125. I would definitely be keen to buy it. We've got pretty clean traffic to the left. up to around 66,577, so there's enough margin to look for trades at that level. And there's also enough margin above 66.80 roughly for further buy options if price did close above. Got some clean traffic once again to the left. Now I'd be trading the range and bias to neutral, so if it did reject 66.60 and I get the right confirmation from price action to do so, I would take a sell as well from that level. Noticed yesterday the plan on Bitcoin would have worked, so far so good with the testing. Not testing it so much because obviously I wasn't on a chart to see it play out, but it looks like it wouldn't have had much drawdown if anything, so nice one. And otherwise sells low, previous daily low, you got some support here to the left, something to be wary of, but you could manage to trade that point. You'd have almost 10 pips on the table below it. So yeah, that's Bitcoin at the moment. Back to GJ bouncing off support, nothing, no confirmation just yet. And gold, we want a closure above on the 30-minute, which will close the 15-week bearish. If that is to be the case, I'll look to buy it as it breaks the high of the 30-minute on the next candle. Worry. Only please zoom in. Yeah, that's right. I think I'd zoomed in enough, to be honest. Chef Wilson, thoughts on NJ? I think it's keep going down. If it's like any of the, I'm assuming it's the exact same as all the other yen pairs at the moment. So, I mean, wouldn't be trading what I think, but I'd be trading what the analysis is telling me, and that definitely looks like it still has potential momentum to the downside in a strong downtrend. What's to the left? At a support, we're approaching a support, but looks like it's in a really strong downtrend. The weekly broken a support, and wow, look at that candle. So when I see a candle forming like so, what I'm looking at, unless it's at a really strong level of support, is where could we potentially pull back to form another resistance before we head back down onto the daily. So the daily is also very bearish, but we can see we're at a strong level of support. We've tapped into it. Potentially this could be a level to bounce off, but I can't just buy it because we're at support. I need to see what if we have any confirmation, which don't even have it on the 4 hour. So very difficult to look for a buy when you don't have even 4 hour candle closing back bullish. It's really bearish, isn't it? To be honest, it's selling into support, so I wouldn't be all that comfortable with that. I'd rather see our price reacts to 91.20. If it does bounce off it, not even going to flip any structure. To be honest, that'd be all about ourselves. You're not flipping any structure or anything. I just wait for the pullback. 92.20, rejection of that level for a potential sell option. Otherwise, clean move down, cut through what is a fair bit of choppiness to the left. Right, that pullback to 91.20, rejection, and then look to sell it. That's, if it were me, that's simply what I'd be waiting for. BJ.
So GU is getting interest, Justin.
Okay, so it's made the move within this candle.
Yeah.
Yep.
Pushing hard down.
Looking pretty good.
It's closed.
Yeah, GU is looking pretty good. 21 who does trade it. No worries, Clarksonization and Chef Wilson. No problem, guys. Appreciate your support. So it's nothing at all. It's gold rejecting. There's not going to be any gold trade at the moment, but that's all good because now if we come back down, and I want to see rejection of 24.12. Now if we pop below it, only to close back above it, this could provide me an option to buy it moving forward. So all good.
Margin down there as well.
What's that?
more margin down there for
Yeah.
gold as well.
Exactly. GJ has to close stronger because we're still well above the support at this point. So likely not going to do so, so I'm just going to wait. Alright, so we've whipped down to support multiple times and bounced off it. Maybe now if we get a bullish engulfing and closing above the resistance on the 30-minute, possibly I'd consider the buy, counter trend buy, to take it back up towards 200 flat. I'll need to wait.
Yeah, I always feel more comfortable in those counter trend sale trades when it's kind of it's daily support.
Yeah.
And after it's been trending all night as well.
Yep. So it's definitely at a support, a higher time frame. Yeah, I agree.
Taking sales, it just feels like it's been sold so much.
Yeah, which wouldn't worry me, but if it was clean traffic, I'd be fine. But the fact of the matter is that really strong support. So what I prefer to see though is a file counter closing back bullish, but that's a long wait for that to happen.
Yeah.
But the other confluence we could gather for any potential counter trend buyers, it would have bounced off this level a few times. It is a strong level. And if you create that higher high, go have clean move down. So it's likely to be mirrored by a clean move back up. So it's something I would consider, but it has to be perfect. It has to be a really, really nice strong closure above.
So no entry for me right now on GU. It's
No upper wick.
down without a wick.
Yep.
So
Waiting for
that
that.
still could be possible. Yeah, creating this upper wick.
I agree. Yeah.
Because it's not coming that much down. So still some potential sells.
Yep.
But need an upper wick.
I tend to agree, my friend. It just needs to now pull back to create an upper wick.
Yeah.
And there's going to be an option still. But if it drops too far just now, then
Yeah.
unfortunately it is what it is. Which you and I both understand.
Absolutely.
Once again, there's volume. Doesn't always necessarily mean we have a clean option though.
Today we have also news.
Yeah, it's shit. Apologies guys, forgot to check this. Yeah, a lot of news as well. So Euro, BMI, obviously the two major economies in the Euro sector. And obviously you've got the pound BMI as well to come, followed by the US. Also come later today, flash manufacturing and services BMI. So it's a really big day for news.
Are you trading New York today?
Yeah, I'll be on the call. You guys.
Cool.
Try to be on probably about an hour before MI open, roughly. Look at that. Just to break the low, you got to travel. It doesn't look like much, but it's more than 33 pips just to break the low of the current daily. Break the low of the support to the left from the highest point in the current candle. The lower, you're looking once you have spread 40 pips. There's a bit of volume still in these candles on GJ at the moment, making it a bit tricky. Alright guys, I've been thinking about a giveaway. Having an awful lot of trouble trying to get it funded. Maybe because they're all corrupt, I don't know, except for one or two that I trust. None of them will give me a link or anything for a giveaway. They all say the same thing, just give the person the money and let them pay for it themselves. Which is all well and good, but I've got a feeling depends who wins. They might just keep the money and not buy the challenge. So I'm still working on it. Otherwise, I'll see. I'll try to come up with something. Gold right back into consolidation, so just need to wait on gold. Still okay if it eventually pulls back. And guys, sometimes we have these weeks where markets just don't give you what you want to see. Few and far, the opportunities are few and far between. But trust me, if you have the patience and discipline to understand this and not get involved in something that's doesn't necessarily tick the box, you'll be much better for it moving forward. The massive turning point for my trading was just actually managing to have patience, working on the discipline. That was the key. Changed everything. So just because I'm not seeing what I want to see in a 30 and a 15 doesn't mean I go down to the 5-minute, try to justify an entry. Because that's when I'm going to get wrecked, and that's when I'll obviously be very disappointed. The emotions to start to kick in. Mr. Phil, lots of movement this week, but no confirmations. Yeah, I agree, mate. Mr. Villager has been wilding since last week, but no confirmation for same as very similar GJ. Very similar. Again here, exact same time of day that it happened on GJ. I mean, I swear it's the same chart. Not sure how this count will open. Once again, no lower wick, so unless this count dropped and then pulled back and then dropped again, wouldn't have been an entry for me. Even here, you're above support. Not a great deal of margin. You have like 5 pips. Oh, actually, a little bit more. About 10 pips. That was probably the only half decent opportunity during Asian session. But otherwise, yeah, I can just see it's the same as GJ. Consolidation, impulse, consolidation. It makes an impulse. It's very hard and tricky to trust those entries, because how do you know which candle is going to make the impulse when multiple candles try but reject and close back above a support, for instance here? How do you know which one is going to be the one? I mean, here the only thing I can see is it kind of broke out of the consolidation, and you could say if it pulls back, strong bearish engulfing, that suggests that maybe it's a fake out, grab liquidity from the upside, and if it begins to break the support, it's a good chance it will head down. That was yesterday after 30 minutes into London Open, but again would have been a tricky one to take because he's still well above the support for the impulse entry. Similar to GJ just now, I mean, it could melt, but I don't have the right confirmation to get involved. Maximization, so truly going down to lower time frame, just get involved and wreck your account. That's it. That's what I used to do. Like I mentioned many times, I've been through it all. I've done all that stupid shit in the past. Even used to go to just float around, search all the different currency pairs, and even a pair I've never ever traded. I just open up the chart on the trading view on the terminal, and that looks good. Let's take a cheeky sell and get wrecked.
I like that there's a 15-minute bullish candle on GG.
Yeah, it'd be nice if it engulfs.
If that wasn't there, those cells would feel like wouldn't look as good at it.
Yeah. Still have issues selling it in the current 30 because you're going to have a massive stop loss. And it's still coming from above the support.
Oh yeah, don't sell it until London open.
Yeah, so I still rather, really in this case, a nice strong closure blow or right near it. But we'll see if we keep wicking down and reject and begin to pop above. What yesterday, remember what happened? London Open though. Did that and then it just completely died. So I'd be wary of when it happens because it could just again grab liquidity. Look like it's going to make a move up, but it could just be, you know, to grab some liquidity at the session open before it continues in line with the trend. But I mean, at this rate, doesn't look like it's going to do it because it has to in the next 19 minutes really close strong bullish. And on the flip side, if it does pop down the open and we keep bouncing off it, and perhaps we'll just grab liquidity before we head back up. And so if buts and maybes, just have to wait and see. That's all we can do. Jimming it today, James?
Yeah, bro. Big
What?
push sesh.
Push.
Yeah.
Nice one. Yeah, I did back and shoulders today. Favorite workout?
Is it?
Pretty good. Pretty exhausted after I've done the back part of it though, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy when it's anything other than legs.
Yeah. No, I'm alright for legs now. Don't mind it. I go through phases with the legs. Sometimes I really could not be asked, but then sometimes I look forward to it as well.
Yeah, I do actually know what you mean. There are some days I think actually I feel like it today.
Yeah, I feel like that pain. That the jelly legs where you can barely walk out of the gym.
Yeah, that feeling. Yeah, there's a satisfaction. to
Yeah, I
that
was
feeling.
just about to say it's very satisfying, isn't it? Especially when you walk out, you manage to actually get to your car.
Walking around like literally 2 miles an hour, just
Yeah, like you're walking on clouds or something.
yeah. What do you use to track your progress?
Nothing. In all
Really?
honesty, no. As far as I know when I want to put size on that, I just up the protein, up the calorie intake. Or
But to track your sets.
I still don't. I pretty good remember with remembering what I lifted last on a certain on a certain exercise, give or take. But no, I've never really done that, to be honest. Do you use an app?
Yeah. I like having it. I like being able to see, like, just know, not have to think about it and know exactly what
Yeah.
I lost. And
Yeah,
just add either a couple of kgs or a rep or two.
Yeah, probably a better way. Well, it is definitely a better way to go about it. I just gonna be asked because I don't carry my phone around with me, nor can I be bothered carrying around a pen and paper.
Yeah, so I carry my phone.
The thing is, if I carry my phone around, it's just too easy to get distracted. See a notification pop up and
Yeah, yeah. And by the mirrors.
By the what?
You get more distracted by the mirrors, don't you?
Oh, of course. Mate, I appreciate what I see in the mirror. Appreciate what I see around the gym as well a lot of the time, man. That's a different story. You gotta be really careful what you're looking at.
What you are seeing right now, Justin.
What's that? Say again.
Be careful what you are seeing right.
Yes, yes. I need to be very careful. To be honest, there's some of the ladies in there are very impressive with, especially because they concentrate a lot on their leg workout and they're lifting a lot more than what I can when it comes to squats, hip thrusts.
Oh, same by far. It's insane.
Oh, absolutely crazy. And they're not even that big themselves, but their core must be so strong and their lower half. It's ridiculous. Like, if I see one using a squat rack or something next to what I wanted to use, and I get intimidated because I'm not going to lift near as much as what she is. So I go up and do something else instead.
Leg day becomes chest day very quickly.
Very quickly, yes. I've got him when it comes to the upper body, but when it comes to the lower body, no match whatsoever. It's like I'm gassed after my first exercise. It's like my heaviest lifts when it comes to legs. Sorry guys, back to the charts. GU potentially creating up a wick. TikTok, anyone there? Hello, hello.
Justin, if you look then on the M50.
Yep.
So you would then say if we broke the low of the previous M50 candle, maybe this could be some potential sells.
Yeah, potentially. I mean, good to see now the M15 has pulled back itself, creating up a wick. The other option would be if it closed like a doji candle or weak bullish for London Open. But yeah, I can see the entry now. I know what you mean, because the M15 has closed below and retested that zone. So it is now, to me, it makes more sense without the upper wick than what it would have before. But yeah, I'd probably still wait personally for
what I
London
see
Open.
is right now is it's very slow.
Very slow.
In general, I think also the other pairs are moving very slow.
Yeah, it could be because the news, there's a lot of news about today, obviously.
Yeah. Maybe therefore I'm thinking maybe it can work, but maybe I will not get the right push at the end.
Yeah, gold is just trash at the moment. Nothing on gold. Everything is just at snail's pace at the moment. Alright, maybe GJ. See.
Yeah, it does feel like it might be slow until that news, doesn't it? And then
Yeah,
New York give us opportunities.
it does look like it at the moment, potentially. That's all right, because if it is, and then the news comes out, what is it forecast? The pound. So it's forecast to be positive. So that would be good for the currency strength when it comes to PMI. Anything over 50, first of all, is good, but also greater than the forecast or previous would be also good, the actual. So maybe a bounce if it does come out as per the forecast. Yeah, but it might make it a little bit easier trading into PMI anyway on the pound, DJ. Goats, yep. News for EU to come shortly. Now, you guys know how I feel about that. It does affect the pound. You will see the spreads widen on GJ as well. I think last time for, it was Euro CPI, from memory. Can't remember, it was some red folder high impact news for the Euro. GJ reacted very similar to well, the pound reacted very similar to the Euro that day. So we need to be wary of that. That is starting in 15 minutes after London Open. Still considered a sell slow, so long as price closes below and I get the right thing happening at London Open. So need to see an upper wick and may contemplate the sell, possibly. It is relatively clean to the left below support. Probably enough margin down, probably about 20 pips or so.
He was pushing down, I'm in.
You're in?
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's see. Created another
Oh,
wick.
wow.
Created the wick.
Bro, the wick too.
Nice.
That looks
So
really good.
Grab the liquidity.
Yeah, that looks really good, man.
That's like that perfect. With
It's
top
liquidity
wick trade.
grab, and look what it's tapped into the high of that zone. So literally back into the range above. Rejected, broken low of the previous candle. This is a pretty solid entry. Win, lose or draw, this would be the entry I take it pretty much every day of the week, knowing that it's gonna likely win about, you know, 7-8 times out of 10. So all that's left to do is execute.
Yeah, let's see.
So we'll see. Goats key levels on weekly charts. Yep, DJ is. Gold obviously is as well. Are you approaching a resistance? So yeah. Alright guys, I'll be back in a minute. I need to quickly do something before I forget. Don't go nowhere. Be back shortly.
So maybe I'm gonna to manage the risk right now.
Say again, Frankie.
So maybe I will manage risk. So right now I'm 2.5 pips in negative. So maybe I will start with three pips in negative to cut 50% of my position. Because right now on the M5 time frame they close very weak, bearish. There's a potential maybe grabbing liquidity on the downside and go up again. So I cut 50%.
What, minus
Maybe
3?
Yeah, and if maybe it's breaking its own high again, I will close the whole position.
All right, apologies. Oh, G pulling back.
I closed 50%.
Okay, yeah, makes sense.
At minus three pips, and I will close the whole position when the high of the candle will be broke again.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe it's grabbing that equity from the downside
Yeah, correct.
prior to the session open, because if it forms support above, it's a good chance it will head back up. GJ trying to do the same. So for session open at this point, likely not going to be an entry. The zone isn't quite deep enough to look for the impulse buy, plus it's against the really against the structure, against the buys. I'm not feeling that cowboy impulse entry, to be honest.
So it's so tempting, isn't it? Because
It
just
is.
It looks ready to push higher.
To bounce off it, I don't know.
Yeah.
It does, but it'd be
It's
so
not.
freaking impulsive. It's in such a downtrend at the moment.
Yeah.
See on gold if it pushes up in the next 45 seconds. Buy stop, sell stop. I mean, gold could potentially be a buy.
Sorry, I closed.
Do you?
So I'm getting to London Open.
Yeah,
and
fair
maybe
enough,
there
mate.
will be some move up. So I will not risk anymore.
Fair enough. I don't blame you. Well managed.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, London Open. Alright, so we're still below the resistance. This situation, and what I prefer to see is upper wick, lower wick, break of the high again. Because we're below the resistance, I find it difficult to buy it just now. Especially the 15. Got the resistance to still break. We're still well below it. GJ is not giving me any indication right now. The 15 closed bearish engulfing, that could be enough. We begin to close below the consolidation, below support, that potentially could be an option. Yeah, it was a good exit on GU, mate.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, so right now it's pushing up.
Yeah.
Yeah, in total it was 3.25 pips minus.
Yeah, not much at all. So it's, yeah, that's what management. That's all you can do.
Yeah, but it's good to see at the end right now. So to have clearly points to get out of the trade.
Yeah.
And
Clear plan.
I'm fully okay with that.
That's it. That's what we need to be when we're trading. And I mean, it was proven right getting out where you got out, because in my opinion, if it was to consider bearish, once it broke the high, broke the low, had no need to pull back up, break its own high again. Now look at it. Wow.
Correct. Yeah.
Alright, so we'll pay attention to the Euro news. Obviously, we got that come shortly. That maybe will give the pound a bit of a shift as well, possibly. It's not going to really do anything to gold, but it might provide some options on GJ. Once again, no impulse entries for me on gold and rejecting, so one of those ones at the moment we need to wait. And I'm fine with this, because now the Mexico moved down to 2,412. There's going to be options to buy it with a little bit more margin. Sorry, Santa Man. Sorry, mate. I didn't see you there. Good morning to you. Go on, mate.
Trying not to be enticed by the GJ buys.
Oh, as it flips, yeah.
Above the, well, or above, even above the 30-minute, because there's like 15 pips up to the top of that range.
Yeah, I understand it again, but as you know, I'm bloody strict with my rules, so I don't yet have a strong enough confirmation. But I definitely understand it, why you would take it. Bouncing off, you would argue, would be the fourth time it broke. It's likely going to head up to at least 199,460 roughly. And it's just not a strong enough confirmation, because it's just consolidating on the 15 as well. And looking at the 15, it could reject around that 40 level. So you can manage it though. Once it gets to that point, you definitely get to break even or something.
I'm going to see how this 5-minute, if this 5-minute closes just below where I want my entry, then I'm considering.
Okay, so what you're looking at to close above
The 320 entry.
Yeah.
If this 5-minute closes strong bullish, like just below that level.
Yeah, it's not a bad close, still below the resistance. I can definitely see it, mate. I can definitely see it. How's the hourly close? The hourly close also bearish. Yeah, I understand it's just not quite good enough for my liking. It doesn't mean it won't work. Go, so you're gonna buy? You in, mate?
Yeah.
Okay, nice one. But you stop below the open? Below the current candle?
The current candle, yeah.
Yeah.
And then never gonna let it get that far. But
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty wide stop. Go to and buys from 24.14, target 24.25. Yeah, okay. Where's his stop loss?
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
Alright, so that's the level where I'd want it to close above. I'm to consider any counter trend option at the moment.
sheesh, I'm out.
You're out.
Yeah, that just flew straight back against me.
Yeah. Yeah, that's my concern. It's not a strong enough catalyst in my opinion. Xperia. Yeah, a lot of news. You're also the US dollar. It's like all got PMI today. Bitcoin still consolidating.
It sound right, boys.
Oh man, it's gonna do dirty now.
Such is life, it's fine. That's the way it goes sometimes, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it.
Boy.
It's all part of it. It's all a big test. Yeah, look at that, typical. Alright, so just under 5 minutes until the Euro news, guys. Thank you for the sub. It's not the most exciting stream at the moment, but waiting for the news. Waiting patiently.
There goes GJ.
What's that? GJ, yeah, of course, mate. Of course. Just to rub it in. Just to rub it in for you. So now it's looking good, but
Yeah, now those buys above.
yeah, the buys look good. That's where I'd look for a potential entry, because at this point we can say we're bouncing off that 4-hour support. It's not just a 4-hour support, it's also a level on the daily time frame that we've wicked into. Don't yet have the 4-hour closing back bullish, which is something that doesn't really fit sit nicely with me. But we do have clean traffic to the left. We've not yet retested that 200 level. I mean, we have here, but not the actual support that it broke, just above it. So to me, that is the likely destination if price does close above that resistance. Need to consider things like stop loss though. Need to consider what happened yesterday on the candle, this particular candle itself, when it popped above, only to end up coming back down in line with the strength of the weekly candle and the daily candles. So I'd want to see the closure above, a retest. Catalyst is obviously the closure above, the retest, and then entry. And that is the only confirmation that I would, trust for the buy at the moment. The only scenario I'd like to see. Otherwise, I'm still all about the sells. If this thing rips the upside, not a problem at all. Be waiting for it to see if it projects that 200 level. So there still could be options. Got the news to come. So let's see, in just over a minute and a half, first lot of news. Goats. Been 3 pop firms on news. I'm super careful on news now. That's fair enough. Big players moving orders before red news. Yeah, they kind of know news before we do as well, so. What is going on with TikTok? Does anyone use Reddit? I've never used it in my life.
Yeah, I've never used it.
Alright, so Euro news to come. I'm not placing any orders, I'm just looking to see what the spreads are like on GJ.
Take a look, man. Take a look on GU. Justin.
Or is it flying? Yeah, wow. Crazy.
Yeah, well done getting out of that.
Yeah, absolutely, James. Absolutely.
Yeah. Well managed. Alright, the spreads are starting to widen on GJ as well. Yep, spreads are widening around close to 2 pips, 1.5 around 1.5, which is wider than usual on IC markets. The news is out for the euro now. How is it affecting euro? Euro spiking.
Is it good news or bad news?
So it's definitely affect the spreads a little bit on the pound on IC markets.
Bad news.
It's bad so far. Bit of a mixed bag.
Okay.
So it's services PMI positive, manufacturing PMI negative. All right, so we'll see what happens with the German PMI. It's come shortly. So the spreads did widen a little bit on the pound. Usually they're around half a pip. They're up to one. They're still over a pip at the moment. All right,
So
so
the prop firms are always around somewhere between 1 and 1.5 pips, even on raw spread.
that's not too bad. I remember on a wonder used to be, even on raw spread, I wonder at best of times you'd be lucky to get like 2 pip spread on GJ.
Yeah, that's just like
Not
anything more
great.
than 1.5, you just can't really scam.
Yeah. But they're a fantastic broker, that's for sure. As far as service, then probably number 1. I'm pretty sure I have one dispute with them, and they awarded me the cash for it on that particular trade. I remember this one dispute. IC markets didn't. I had a similar dispute where my terminal froze, completely froze. They claimed it was must have been the internet, but it wasn't because TradingView was still working. It was a live call with the old team. The best trade ever on dollar Swiss. Thing shot, I'm not joking, like 30 pips in 5 seconds. It was the ultimate breakout trade. And my terminal froze. So I had no idea what to do. So I just pressed close on magic keys, just in case by the time it opened up, I was still in trade. If it came back to, back to entry or something. So it ended up closing me out 6 pips.
How long ago was that?
About 2 years ago. I actually videoed it too. I sent them the video and they wouldn't honor it.
GJ's trying to get out of that.
Yeah, let's try. No, well, weaken to 15. Alright, so this is alright. If it just flies, again, I'm not comfortable with it. It's not my cup of tea, it's not my entry. It's not part of my plan. So I need to wait and see how it reacts to that 200 level for a potential rejection to sell it. The close is pretty much as is, then there's going to be options still.
I like the idea of the bullish, like a close here on this 30-minute, and then a weak bearish 30-minute, and then the buy on the next hourly.
Yeah, potentially, if it provides that option, but
Yeah,
plenty of time. Plenty of time.
They just absolutely fly.
Yeah, now it's just to rub it in for you even more. Typical.
I don't mind. I like the fact that
It worked.
the idea was,
Yeah.
even if the execution was slightly early.
Yeah, agreed.
Just pushes the 4 or 5 pips at a time, and then it does this.
Yeah, it's massive volume, isn't it? And again, it could be also because there's a lot of news about. So Euro is pushing up a bit. at that. Yes, it's a tough one because you took it pretty much on the break of this level, and then it came all the way back down, retest that zone again, and then broke again. Had a bit of a low week. It's a tough one. Tough one to get every entry as well. But
yeah, I did look at the re-entry, but it just would have been basically, oh, let's try it again.
Yeah, the exact same thing. Yeah.
Yeah. And then if you lose that twice in a row, it's kind of,
yeah, exactly.
That's a bit galling. Losing that once in a row, I can deal with a 1%. Just less than 1% loss. I can deal with that. A 2% loss for the day suddenly feels so.
Yeah, exactly. Once again, been a bloody quiet week. All trades were yesterday for me, nothing at all today. Chilling, waiting.
Still good.
Unreal, isn't it?
I do love that about GJ when it goes.
Yeah, it does have the volume, definitely.
Yeah. Like if I'd managed to stay in that, a runner would have, I don't know, what's that for? 50 pips maybe?
Yeah, at the moment.
3, yeah, 40 pips.
Alrighty guys, what are you looking at? YouTube. What are we looking at? Rodrigo sells from 200 JJ. Yep, same idea. Just to me, it's just a healthy pullback at the moment on the daily, bouncing off the support. So that's why I could consider and see the potential counter trend buys. But once again, I want to wait for the closure above, and just so happens to be closing too far above at the moment. So making a move without me at this point. But again, all good, not stressed. Just reassess and wait. Caspira. Yeah, it would have been nice, but again, all good. Wasn't part of my plan personally, and if you're not in, well, obviously wasn't part of yours, so it is what it is, as they say.
Also, this would be a nice, well, any bullish close on the 4 hour just gives you more possibilities into New York.
Yeah, correct. It would really make me start trusting the bias, because it's obviously bouncing off the 4 hour support as well. So that to me is a really strong confirmation. And very simple analysis that indicate, like, let's just say it does close pretty much where it is or higher up. Even if it taps in 200 and closes up near that level, you're just simply waiting for the pullback, higher low, support, and you can buy it as it creates lower wick potentially. There's still could be plenty of options, guys. Just wait to move, but it's all good. Need to wait. Ben, more to you, brother. Hope you're well. Welcome. Just watching GJ do its thing. Not in any trades personally. Haven't taken any trades. Waiting on gold as well and rejecting at the moment. Just consolidating. So I don't have any sort of catalyst. And guys, remember too, often this time of year it is a bit slower, the markets. So once again, I don't trade for 5 minute because it's just not me. I've never bothered. A few times I have. There's just too much data going on. So I stick to what I do best, and that's the higher time frame confirmation. Might mean I don't trade as often. But again, when I trade, I know there's a really good chance it's going to be a win. So How's the thumbnail, guys? Do you guys are you impressed or you think it's shit? Be honest. I know I've only got my loyal support watchers, followers, viewers on the stream right now. So you're the ones I want to impress the most. I'm making all myself. I just have a bit of fun with it, to be honest. I'll pin it more into you, mate. Alright, just over 2 minutes left until the German PMI comes out, so GJ looks like it's closing above.
Nice. Nice little 5-minute tap back in.
Yeah. Got a fair distance to travel to break the high of the previous candle.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to take on this one, but I just hate seeing GJ not make any correction even on the low time.
Yeah, I'd really like for it to tap in next minute and a half or so, and then close still relatively strong above.
Yeah.
So this is good. So I think now I've got the tap in. Yeah, got the tap in, so now we want to bounce, and then I'll consider a buy on the next candle. But if it closes as is, I'm not considering a buy. It's not strong enough confirmation. Needs to pull up now. Next minute and a bit.
Just when we want it to have volume, it will have nothing.
So the volume now is, there's a lot of it, and there's about to be a lot more with the German news to come.
Yeah, let's see what that does.
It all looks like absolute trash at the moment, so see, GJ has to push in the next 20 seconds. It needs to push. Alright. Playing funny buggers is definitely not easy. The confirmations aren't strong at the moment. So it's closed back below, and Euro news, and look at that. Right down. Yeah, I'm not getting involved in GJ right now.
Yeah, no chance.
No. There's a good chance if a flip's going to make a bit of a move, but it's just all over the shop. There's no strong enough confirmation. It's against the trend as well. It's not at a particularly strong level. If I was to look for a sell in, in regards to sells. And for the buys, it's close below that resistance. It's just not a quality entry. For me, it'd be forced.
Wow, very negative. Euro It's very
Oh, for
pushing
the
down.
German? Wow, it is too.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't understand really why that would affect GJ. Is it just because we're nearby?
Trade partner or something.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, so the spreads are still pretty good on GJ, but they're around the 1 pip, just over a pip.
Yeah, these Euro news doesn't have a massive impact on it.
No, I have seen it though before where it has.
Really?
I think it could be CPI, I'm not too sure.
As in CPI for Germany and France.
Yeah, for the Euro, for Germany and France. More so for Germany.
It's just waiting for 9:30, isn't it?
By the looks of it. Yeah, it's very indecisive at the moment. So obviously, big one to come. Alright, so that must be a basket for the rest of the European countries, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I imagine EJ has dropped a lot, hasn't it?
I'm still basically at open. Well, I started the stream, so just consolidating. So I mean, looking at that, for me, it's very difficult trading it. Once again, I don't trade after 5 minutes, so it makes it hard for me. But it doesn't mean that I worry about it. I just know I need to wait patiently. I don't get tempted by another time frame. I just stick to my plan. That's plain and simply what I do. Monk come back? No. You guys should jump across to the YouTube stream, by the way, because I don't know how much longer I'll stream on TikTok. And it's really strange on TikTok. Like, at least YouTube's consistent, whereas TikTok, it's off late. I'm lucky to have more than 1 or 2 viewers at a time. I have no idea what's going on. Sam took 50 pips on GJ buys. Nice one. All well and good. I'm happy for you. It'd be more impressive though if you mentioned before that you were taking a buy. Much more impressive. I'm always happy when I hear you guys doing well. But it's easy enough for anyone to come on and say, I just took 50 pips or I just 100 pips on gold. Do you know what I mean? Like, put yourself in the hot seat sometimes as well and just see what it's like. That's why I need to be strict. I need to be disciplined. It's good for me. It's good for my trading. And I said to the members last night, when I'm away from the stream, I pretend I'm on stream. So I think out loud and you know, actually talk myself through the entry. You know, as though I've got an audience. Most of the time I do anyway. Like yesterday, moving forward into pre-MI, we're all looking at GJ. GJ sell as it was. Around here somewhere. Yeah, around here. So I got to about 8 pips and then came back to entry. So I got stopped out break even, but I called it in the chat prior to in the trade ideas section prior to the entry, and I jumped on the call and watched it take me out at break even before it actually gave about 10 or 12 pips and then eventually reversed. So it was a good trade management again. I was happy with the management. Rodrigo, it looks to me that what is moving the markets at the moment on the JPY pairs like GJ is the yen strength. Yeah, that's another good point. Not whatever news come from the other pair, so the pound and euro news are not holding much weight. Yeah, I agree. There's a lot of strength in the yen at the moment, And once again, it could be the Bank of Japan intervention. Look, they could be intervening without saying anything. Maybe they're doing it silently because maybe they don't want everyone to know of their stance and that on the end. But they have mentioned that they're not afraid to intervene at any point, 24/7, basically. So potentially that's what's happening. There's a lot of strength in the yen. It was eventually gonna happen. Nothing can go up forever. And this is good on gold. This is fine. This is really good. I'd like to see it now make a nice clean move back to 24.12, and we could have some options moving forward. And GJ rejecting, as is GU. So that wick's tapped into that level right on where you what you mentioned, Franco.
Yeah.
Right into it and rejected.
But now I'm a little bit careful because at 10 o'clock
Yeah,
we
you
have
got the news coming.
again news, and I don't like it. And then it sent in after half hour, then we have pound news. So
Yeah, correct. There's a little bit sketchy at the moment. Not the easiest to get involved, but it's all good. It could make for some nicer trading pre-MY into MY.
yeah.
I'm not in any way interested on a buy on the flip. How fast the travel to create a low wick? 28 pips, so you can easily create a move to give you 10 pips or so, but you're gonna have to have at least a 28 pip stop loss. It's not with the structure. There's not a great deal going for it, in my opinion, to buy, so not on my radar at the moment. See if we can get up to 15 likes, guys. So as mentioned, I will be on an MI call later for VIP. So once again, guys, if you are interested, take advantage of it. You've got one more week to take advantage of that special Foundation VIP discount, and that applies to the lifetime of your subscription. Yeah, so if you are interested and you want to know more, let me know. Send me an email, or contact me on IG or something. All that is down below in the description. And also, if you just want a group to trade with that trade similar to the way you trade for MY, but you're not all that interested in the educational side of things, there's obviously that tier 2 YouTube membership option there for $10 a month, and that will give you access to all the private calls and some more educational content. So yeah, so just there if anyone is interested, but otherwise I appreciate you all for joining and just being here. That's the main thing.
What do you need to see here to make the GJ buys valid?
Don't really like it, to be honest, that wick there at all. Even if this closed back week, yeah, well, even if this closed back week bearish, to me it's just still sort of consolidating. Like, you gotta travel a fair distance just to break the high of that bullish candle as well. I mean, that could be a target. But it's not really a pause. Like it's not trending for me to consider that pause. I just consider it to be a bearish candle at resistance, where it could just continue to downside. It may even pull up, reject, and we're right back down near the low. For me, that wick just makes it difficult. To be honest, I find it difficult to find buy options within the current 4-hour candle. I probably need to wait now for this 4-hour candle to close, and if it closes up near its high or even higher up, then probably just wait for the pullback to buy it. So yeah, that's the only way I probably trust the buys at the moment. Especially with the news about as well. This is better on gold. This is good. All right, just marking 50% that zone. Let's see where gold closes in this candle. It is a 4-hour level, so it is a strong level, which would tick the box on that impulsive entry. I don't have a name for it, but what that would require is for this candle, the next, not the 15, it has to be the 30. So we need a few things. First of all, we need this candle close, if not at the zone, just back above it, preferably tapping in. Doesn't necessarily have to, but I'd like for it to do so. And then next candle just drops the upper wick. When it gets to, usually I'd pick a wick to the left, but it's a little bit too far down. So the other option is 50% into that zone. It's a big zone. If it gets to that point there, I mark it executed sell. Stop loss back below in anticipation. It's got no upper wick. It's still bullish in structure. It's retesting its zone, and it's not done so yet on the 30-minute on a proper pullback. Yes, it's done so after the closure above, but hasn't really made a proper pullback to it yet. So it could just grab that liquidity. That is a level I've noticed that bounces off quite regularly, around 50% of the zone itself. And I just mark an execute sell in anticipation it bounce, eventually create up a wick. At that point, I've already secured some profit, got some break even and whatnot. So that's right now what I'd be looking at for a cheeky gold buy. Yeah, I'm not interested in GJ at the moment. Just a mess. Oh, bit of volume just now at the open new 15. It's just melting. Interesting to see if it plays out in the 15-minute. Alright, just pay attention to this guy. So this is the first proper pullback we've had at this level. Let's just see if it, after tapping in, if it would give you a 10 plus. Nothing wrong with keeping an eye on it and maybe screenshotting it like I've always mentioned. And you can maybe trust these sort of limit orders moving forward. So right now, this is not part of my playbook. It's not, for me, a valid entry. But I'd definitely keep an eye on it and consider it moving forward if it, you know, if I see it play out often. So I'm just eyeballing this. I'm not in a trade. I'm just keen to see if it would work. So that's pretty much what I'd be looking at. All right, so bullish engulfing on GJ. That may do the trick. That would probably make me happy enough at that point. If this M15 closes bullish engulfing, because we've now formed and confirmed that resistance, and it's a pretty strong one, pretty strong rejection. So if this cannot close bullish engulfing, then I feel there's a good chance it could continue to the upside. I think it's a pretty strong catalyst. But again, we've got news to come, so bit concerned by that. But we just be grabbing liquidity from whatever direction the news is. Forecast is for it to be greater than the previous, better than the previous. So that would indicate potential strength for the pound, but obviously it remains to be seen. Yeah, so in this sort of scenario, I'd probably be at break even. You have about 7 pips on the table. Nonetheless, good to see it playing out. All good. Yeah, likely be out break even, I'm assuming, depending on spread. Yeah, it'd probably be out. Alright, so it still could be valid. We still could have potentially the M30s. That's what I'm waiting for. Waiting to see how this candle closes. So far, so good. And waiting to see how the new candle opens up. And there potentially could be an impulse buy for me. It's under 10 minutes to wait and see. Bitcoin's getting interesting as well. So yeah, so a nice strong closure above that 66,125 would be a catalyst for me. Clean move up over here to the left, and you go clean move back down. Clean traffic. I mean, that'd be a strong enough catalyst breaking out of this level. But what I'd want to see is a closure, tap in, continuation. Reason why I'd want to see that, and not just buy it as the count closes above, because it could just grab that liquidity, fake out, come back down, we end up heading back towards the end of the other end of support and potentially continue to the downside. So I want the confirmation that first of all it closes above, second of all it taps in to retest that zone and begins to pull away from it, and then your entry is as it breaks the high of the catalyst. Is Bitcoin.
Is GJ's hourly candle going to look like yesterday's 8 o'clock candle?
Yeah, true. At the moment, it's nasty. Makes it very difficult.
More extreme version.
Yeah, it's really tricky, isn't it?
Close below is still valid, though, isn't it?
Yeah, the close below is still valid.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm only assuming with a close below.
Yeah, the close below would be probably the way to go right now. But again, it could easily just consolidate. Prior to news anyway. Yeah, so I'm definitely focused on gold. Ooh, EU is melting. Assuming EJ would be as well. Yeah, so Euro is taking a hit. Let's see, 5 minutes. 5 minutes remaining. Am I going to get that impulsive buy option on gold presenting? I can see.
Justin,
Yeah,
my impression is that we will see right now at 10 o'clock also negative news, because all the other German and French news was also negative.
Yep.
So this would be maybe because gold was also driving down with this bad news, and I'm thinking maybe that gold would go down further. So
Yeah,
but nevertheless, you will stick to buys, yeah.
yeah. To be honest, the euro and pound news won't really affect gold. So Yeah, I'm not too concerned by that, to be honest.
Okay.
But once again, this could easily become invalid if it opens up for an upper wick. Or if it pops down, pops back up without tapping into the level that I want it to tap into. Once again, it's invalid, so still a lot of things need to play out for it to be an entry. But yeah, I'm not so concerned by it. Happy to see it's at this level. Yeah, so if it gives me my option, but I mean, look at it now. It's just bouncing off it, so it needs to close to it.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm still keen, still happy to take it if it does present.
Nice 1 hour candle on GU. Just did.
Do you? The alley?
Yeah.
Oh, God. It's a train wreck at the moment. It has no idea what it wants to do.
Yeah.
GJ is similar as well. GU, it's back. Right back at the support. It's I still think GJ looks a bit better if it does continue to downside and eventually pop below that support.
Yeah, I like that top whip.
Yeah.
Yeah, but stop loss at the end then.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
So for it to be valid, it needs to close below in the next minute and a bit. And then once again, stop loss is going to be massive. So what probably need to see then is a reasonable upper wick and just use that. But at this rate, it's not going to close below it either way. And look at gold bounce. Wow. Wow, look at that. Alright, so we're now back in consolidation on gold too. The markets aren't easy trading at the moment. All good. How's the hourly closing? Still bearish. Yeah, I think any entry on 15 is going to be a little bit too impulsive for me to take the buy. As much as I want to get involved, I would have preferred for the actual impulse from lower down as price tapped into move more into that previous level of resistance, that zone. But now it's back at consolidation, so it's going to be a bit difficult. Yeah, it looks like it's not going to present, guys. Oh, good to see it bounce off that level. So levels are correct. Actually tapped in and it's bounced off it. Just goes to show, once we break a zone, there is a high probability eventually at some point we're going to pull back to grab liquidity from it. Good to see, good to pay attention to it, because that may moving forward, may open up options on limit orders at certain levels. Nothing on GJ as well. Closing above. Alright, gold shooting up. If anyone is keen on a 15-minute entry, I'd wait for it to create a lower wick. Doesn't necessarily need to, just grab liquidity from the downside. I just feel a bit more comfortable if I had one. But I'm not taking it. You got 10 pips, not even, less than 10 pips to that target. If it pulls back to create a lower wick and then break its own high again. So to me, again, it's just trying to pluck something out of nowhere. Which, yes, it could be a winning trade, but if it's not, I'd be so disappointed and pissed off with myself. So I'm not going to take it. And GJ's above support, nothing. Best to wait for the news. GU looking alright to break again, but really, you'd have to drag this support down now, seeing that it's the lowest point of any support at that zone. And that's where I probably contemplate the sells, but then you don't have much margin to some previous levels over here to the left.
It didn't close as I wanted.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't agree, my friend. So I think I'm going to wrap it up and come back for pre-NY with the VIP. Yeah.
Yeah, same. We're not going to get anything, are we now?
Nah, not at the moment. So, I mean, I just went over the plan, guys. So that's what I've been looking out for on those pairs, BJ Gold and GU. Appreciate you all for joining, as per usual. It's the same people. I also know from the analyse, it's mostly the same viewers all the time. So I appreciate you guys. You guys rock, your legends. If you could, make sure you hit the like button on the way out, even if you want to know any more about the VIP or anything. Feel free to send me a message. Otherwise, I shall see you guys on YouTube tomorrow probably about 20 minutes to 7 a.m. UK time. And yeah, members, I'll see you shortly. Frank, I'll speak to you shortly as well.
Yeah.
Cheers, guys. Catch you later.
Bye.
Have a good one. See you guys. Bye.